Good evening, football fans. It's Monday night, and we're about less than an hour away from tonight's kickoff between the Buffalo Bills and the Atlanta Falcons. Uh, I am coming to you from Level 1 Takes, and my name is Raj. And I'm going to give my prognostication on tonight's game, of course, between these two teams. Um, the Bills are coming in at 4-1. The Falcons are 2-2 in their division. It's second or third place in their division. Bills are first in their division. Um, I just I saw the line for this game. The Vegas had the Bills at a -5.5, and that's down from 6.5, and that's probably most likely due to the fact that I just saw another headline. Dalton Kincaid, the Bills' starting tight end, pretty good when they're top receiver in yardage. Anyways, he's out. He's been announced as going to be out for this game, and so that's going to significantly change some things for the Bills on offense. They are number one coming into this game in offense, however, and they're going up against the Falcons, who also they're number one in defense, and they're number one against the pass. So that's going to be a tough matchup for both teams. However, like I said, Kincaid is out, and their backup tight end is Dawson Knox. So now you got probably the next go-to guy. Primary target would be probably Khalil Shakir, and then they also have Keon Coleman, and then also they can throw the Brooks out the backfield. I'm sorry, James Cook out the backfield, but he's not a replacement, obviously, for Kincaid. But that's going to hinder a lot of the Bills' passing attack, as I said earlier, and offense overall. Now, aside that, the Bills, they are first in offense. They were scoring 30 points a game. That's the most in the league. And they're going to obviously go over 2,000 yards tonight in total offense. They're averaging over 300 yards a game in doing so, almost 400, as a matter of fact, 395 yards in total offense. That's also most in the league. However, they're eighth overall in passing, and so they're averaging about 241 yards a game in doing that, and about 155 yards on the ground, and that's second in the league. So they're a big threat on the ground. But you take away Kincaid out that offense, then it's going to make their offense maybe a little bit more, if not predictable. Make it easy for a defense like the Falcons, who are a good run defense too as well. They can key on the run a little bit more, or stuff the box, as they say, a little bit more, and anticipate definitely shorter passes maybe, and then also more of a focus on Cook, the running back. And so then with that offense, of course, you're going to start with Josh Allen, quarterback. He's 15th in the league right now in passing. He's thrown over 1,200 yards, and looking good so far. And he's averaged about 240 something yards a game, about 245 yards. You got the Bills run a 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end set, And so that gives Allen tons of weapons too, and he's able to have that kind of success, and that's due to the spread that they employ. And he's completing 70% of his passes, which is near the top in the league. So I believe it's about top 5. And but however, even with Kincaid, he's only averaged about 8 yards per completion. He's thrown for 9 touchdowns, and he's only thrown 2 picks this year as well. And his quarterback rating is really good. He has a QBR of 70, and his total passer rating is 108, which is dynamic, to say the least. And there, of course, if you want, when you talk about the running game, of course, you're going to talk about James Cook. He's 5th in the league in rushing. He's got 450 yards so far on this season. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. He's got 5 touchdowns, and he's averaging about 90 yards a game on the ground. And he's tops in the league in rushing for first downs. And last week he had just under 50 yards on the ground. He only had 15 carries, but the Bills they were being stuffed pretty good last week against the Patriots, up and coming improving team with Drake May, and they held him to only 3 yards on the ground per average. So also last week you had as far as the passing game, Kincaid was their top receiver. He caught 6 balls, but he caught for 108 yards, and he had 100. I'm sorry, he had 108 yards in receiving. That was good for 18 yard average. So you're not gonna have that tonight. So that leaves him with Khalil Shakir. Last week he had 6 catches for 45 yards, and he averaged 7 yards a catch. And you got Keon Coleman. He only had 4 catches. He had 23 yards on 4 catches, and that was about 5 yards a catch for him. So other than that, you got Jesse Palmer and Curtis Samuel, who's also announced as being out tonight for that Bills offense. So they're going to be really tested tonight, and a little shorthanded, to say the least. And so when you look at the defense, you're going with let's see, their defense is ranked 7th overall. Now, however, they are 2nd against the pass. They're only giving up about 154 yards a game. However, here's their kryptonite, if you will, for that defense. They're 30th against the run. They're giving up almost 150 yards on the ground a game, and their defense is giving up 22 points a game. And so, like I say, that's going to be it's going to be a test for them tonight, because they're going up against Bijan Robinson, and he's pretty formidable. And the Bills, however, they run a 4-3 base defense, and they are +1 in the turnover differential department, just like the Falcons are. Now, when you get to look at the Falcons, they're coming in this game. They are 6th in offense. they're scoring 19 points a game, and they put up they will be going over 1,500 yards in total offense tonight. That's for sure. They're averaging about 362 yards a game, and so they're 12th in passing with Michael Penix, and he's averaging about 200 over 225 yards a game. And the Falcons running for over 135 yards on the ground per game, and that's fourth in the league. And like I said, that's with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algiers, who's another is running mate in the backfield. And now Penix himself, he's in the lower tier of starting quarterbacks when it comes to ranking this year. However, he is completing 62% of his passes, and he's throwing for about almost 10 yards completion, and he's throwing for almost 230 yards a game. And his like I say now, his passer rating is 82, which is not bad. He's only thrown for 3 touchdowns, but he's only thrown for 3 interceptions this year. So he's had some lackluster games this year, but he's had some nice games as well. So I see him having a decent game tonight. And like I say, he's got Bijan Robinson. He's 22nd in rushing. He's run for over 300 yards so far. He's averaging 5 yards a carry, and he's got a touchdown. And now he's only running for about 78 yards a game, but the Falcons could spread the wealth out because they have some weapons in their wideouts. However, Darnell Mooney will be out tonight, but they still have Kyle Pitts and Drake London, and they can still throw to Bijan Robinson, who's actually leading them in yards this season in terms of reception yardage. He's got 270, but that's right there with Drake London, and Kyle Pitts is right about 200, and so and Robinson is averaging about 67 yards a game, and doing so, he's right there with London at 67 yards a game. So, and they still have Ray McLeod and Casey Washington to throw the ball to as well. So this Atlanta's offense can put pressure on that Bills defense. So I'm now that Kincaid is out, I could definitely see a path to Atlanta victory. The experts, at least Vegas, has them at 5.5. They had the Bills favorite at 5.5. I think that's quite a bit. Now it may change again before game time. Even before Kincaid was announced as being out for tonight's game, I still had the Falcons playing them close and even winning the game. I saw a path. I saw a path even with Kincaid winning this game because the Falcons' tough defense and they playing on that fast turf and they have a balanced offense. As long as Penix doesn't make the big mistakes tonight, I see the Falcons taking this game, whatever the score is. That I don't know if the Falcons can run the ball against the lowly ranked Russian defense of the Bills. That could open up some other possibilities for the Falcons in terms of throwing the ball, and even Penix maybe getting some yards on the ground with his feet, making some plays that way. I could see the Falcons coming away with the big win. So we'll see. And, well, that's all I got to say for this game and tonight. So till next time, peace out.